liberals are destroying American universities.
Well, liberal colleges have become expert at silencing conservative speakers.
That's how campuses are. No free speech.
It's a very scary situation.
We're on the campus of Arizona State University because, as everyone knows, college is a hellscape.
We're undercover as students. Note the Minions' backpacks, finger on the pulse, to try and save college from its liberal chokehold.
Thankfully, some heroic student groups are injecting conservative ideas back into university life. Groups like Turning Point USA, an organization with over 300 chapters on college campuses nationwide.
We attended one of their events, which meant we could change back into fashionable adult clothes. Thank God.
Have you ever gotten a job from a poor person? Seriously. Have you ever gotten a job from a poor person?
Sticking it to the poor people. This young rebel is Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, a group elevating the dialogue on campus.
Our Turning Point USA members, they just want to talk about capitalism, free markets, and the Constitution.
Right, like the time they booked Milo Yiannopoulos to out trans students.
I have known some passing trannies in my life.
It's just a man in a dress, isn't it?
Or when they protested safe spaces by wearing diapers.
Makes you laugh and think. But those aren't the only ways they hilariously troll sensitive liberals.
This group, Turning Point USA, set up this so-called affirmative action bake sale. Needless to say, it caused quite a stir.
You racist.
For those people that don't know, an affirmative action bake sale is kind of a cheeky, fun activism event, if you will. You are charged more if you are an Asian or a white student, and if you're a black student, you're charged less.
What's the goal with it?
I think more than anything else, it's an educational tool. And look, I think there's nothing wrong with racial and ethnic diversity. However, just equally as important type of diversity is intellectual and ideological diversity.
We need someone to take action in an affirmative way to get more conservatives onto campus.
Correct, and that's part of what Turning Point USA is doing.
Which is different than uplifting underrepresented individuals, somehow. I don't know, ask me tomorrow. Either way, we wouldn't need conservative affirmative action if liberal brainwashing professors weren't stifling our speech. If only we knew who they were.
The Professor Watch List is a project of Turning Point USA. The mission is to expose college professors who discriminate against conservative students.
And yes, liberals, we know that McCarthy also made naughty lists, but so does Santa. You can't hate Santa.
Unless you hate Christmas.
It's not Professor Blacklist, and it's not Professor Hitlist. It's an awareness tool. We're not calling for the termination of these professors. Let the schools make their own decisions there.
It's like the Crucible. You might have to hang some Protestants, but if you catch a witch, it's worth it.
Okay, no, but...
Okay, no, but is right. And some professors actually want to be on the list.
Amanda Gailey is a professor of literature. Reading. She recently asked Turning Point to be put on their watch list in what she calls an act of solidarity with her colleagues and what we call being thirsty as hell.
The two faculty I know personally who have been on the list were both subjected to threats and weeks of harassing racist and misogynist emails.
You're not even on the list, so it's like nothing bad's gonna happen to you.
Right.
Simply because I came out against Turning Point USA and got in their crosshairs, I've had several elected officials here in the state of Nebraska call for me to be fired, and the Nebraska Republican Party even submitted an open records request demanding to see my private political emails that mentioned Donald Trump, U.S. Congressman Jeff Fortenberry, and U.S. Senator Ben Sasse.
I hope they don't ask for my emails on Ben Sasse because they are salacious.
Oh my God.
Sure, Gailey almost got fired and some losers got death threats. But that's not the fault of the Professor Watch List. It's the fault of the people who read the list and then took action because of what they read on the list.
And it's definitely not the fault of Charlie Kirk and his awesome grassroots movement.
Turning Point USA is not a grassroots movement. It is a billionaire-funded AstroTurf movement.
Isn't it good to have somebody from the outside come into the university and sort of stir the pot?
Yeah, sort of drain the university swamp.
I think we're doing a pretty good job with talking about ideas on campus without non-experts who have nothing really but money and sinister motivations coming in to try to stir things up for us.
Wait. We're non-experts with nothing but money and whatever that other thing was. Plus, we're backed by a billionaire-funded organization.
So we hit campus to expose college students to ideas so underrepresented, literally no one was saying them.
What's the big deal with eating human flesh if that person asked you to do it?
What?
None of your professors will say stuff like this. Gay phrenology, does the shape of your make you gayer?
do you think? What's the big deal at boy cousins because you won't make a weird incest baby? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
This is weird. Okay.
Finally got one.
Okay. Don't want to engage in a dialogue. Interesting.
If college kids didn't want to hear our unpopular ideas, we'd find ways to make them, like Turning Point does.
With a little help from Republican mega donors, Turning Point has been secretly and ingeniously funding student government campaigns. Now they can influence school policies on campus carry or even fossil fuel usage.
And it's not just Turning Point. The country's top conservative youth organizations have 3 times as much money as their liberal counterparts.
So while liberals rest on their laurels thinking that college is firmly in the hands of Big Professor, we'll be here, making college a conservative wet dream.
And we've got the guy who knows college better than anyone.
So, Charlie, where did you go to college?
I did go to college, which some might say is weird.
Sort of homeschooled on the university level.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.